Good morning children, I am S.D. Jha. Today I am going to explain some paragraphs of the lesson The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Sullivan. It's an interesting lesson children. An important question has been raised in this lesson. This story is about two poor Armenian boys. There are two boys from Armenia, they are poor, who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. These boys are associated with a family, associated with a tribe which is, that tribe I mean to say, is known for trust and honesty. Let us see what happens in this lesson. One day back there in the good old days. The phrase good old days here refers to the childhood days of the narrator. One day back there in the good old days, when I was 9, when the narrator was how many years old? 9 years old. And the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. Child, you are yourself a child. You know world is full of so many wonderful things when you are a child, during your childhood days. And life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. So it was true in the case of the narrator also. Life seemed to be a happy dream, mysterious, which cannot be explained easily. Every moment that narrator wanted to enjoy. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, everyone thought that his cousin Murad was a crazy boy. But the narrator did not have this opinion about his cousin. He thought quite differently. He thought he had a different thought about his cousin. Came to my house at 4 in the morning. One day it so happened, his cousin Murad visited the house of the narrator. What was the time when he visited? At 4 in the morning, and woke me up, tapping on the window of my room. Hitting something lightly. Tapping on the window of his room, he woke him up. Aram, he said. He mentioned his name, Aram. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. The moment he heard his name mentioned, shouted by Murad, he immediately leapt to his feet and looked out to the window who was calling him. I couldn't believe what I saw. He saw something in front of the window on the opposite side, and he was not ready to believe his eyes. His eyes were showing him something which he was not ready to believe. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet. Morning had not started as yet, but it was summer. The summer season was going on, and with daybreak means what? Of course, down, daybreak. Note, daybreak means dawn, D-A-W-N. Dawn means morning. Morning. Daybreak, morning, was not many minutes around the corner of the light. The light of the sun was going to be visible any moment, and it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. But there was sufficient amount of light to allow the narrator to believe, to make him believe that he was not dreaming at all. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. What did the narrator see? He found his cousin Murad sitting on a beautiful white horse. And this was the scene which he was not prepared to believe. I stuck my head out of the window. Let us stop at the meaning of this phrasal verb, stick out. Push something further out through a hole. Stick out means push something further out through a hole. So he stuck his head out of the window and rubbed his eyes, just to believe whether what he was seeing was true or not. Yes, he said in Armenian. The language of those children was Armenian. He used that language. What did he say in that language? It's a horse. You are not dreaming. Murad told him that he had brought a horse with him, and the narrator was not dreaming. He was seeing a real, actual horse in front of his eyes. Make it quick if you want to write. Murad, his cousin, immediately requested him, you can say ordered him, instructed him to do it fast if he was really interested in riding the horse. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. Children, so many people have come in this world by mistake. They don't seem to be enjoying their life. No, they are not enjoying. They pass their time in some other activities, you can say negative activities. But Murad was quite different from those persons. He enjoyed each and every moment of his life more than anybody else. But this was more than ever I could believe. But even then, in spite of this fact, the narrator was not ready to believe the scene which was before his eyes. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses. There are certain regions which he is citing now, presenting before you. First reason is that his earliest memories were associated with what? Horses. And my first longings, not the word longing. Longing means desire. If you add S here, it becomes desires. You can also say strong desires. His desires were associated with riding a horse. He wanted to ride a horse. He had cherished a desire to ride a horse for many years and had been longing to ride. What was his desire? Once again, he wanted to ride a horse. This was the wonderful part. No doubt he liked this part because of its being a wonderful part. In the second place, we were told, but the second reason that is being presented before the readers of the narrative is very important. They were poor and they did not have enough money to buy a horse. They did not have enough money to afford a horse. That is why he was not ready to believe what he was seeing before his eyes. This was the part that didn't permit him to believe what he saw. This was the part that did not permit him to believe what he was seeing present before his eyes. We were poor. Yeah, of course, his family was a poor family. We had no money. They did not have any money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Poverty is the worst kind of disease, you know, children. And his family, everybody in his family was suffering from this disease. That is why he has used this word, poverty stricken. Every branch of the Garblanian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. But what type of poverty? Their poverty was funny, comical. They were living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Their poverty was funny, interesting. How? I am going to tell you. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us. Nobody in the family was able to understand the source from where the money was coming to the family. And with food in our bellies. Nobody knew from where the food was being managed for their stomachs, bellies. Not even the old men of the family. Unfortunately, even the old men of the family did not have any information about this. Most important of all, he is present before you. One of the most important points. Though we were famous for our honesty, they were famous for their family was famous for their honesty. We have been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries. See, isn't it? Isn't it important to know? For you that their family had been famous for their honesty for something like 11th century. Even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world, there was, here the narrator referring to the time in the past when his family was the wealthiest family in the entire area, and that was the world, that was the real world for him, his family then in the past. We were proud first. First, they were proud of their family, honest next. Then they gave importance to on the quality of honesty. They emphasized honesty and that we believed in right and wrong. Then they considered what was right and what was wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Nobody belonging to his family wanted to take advantage of any person in this world, let alone steal. There was no question of stealing. And that is why the narrator was motivated to believe that the horse brought by his cousin Murad was a real horse. He thought he was dreaming. Thank you, children.